Hey, welcome back to the multi-ethnic videos of the month. And this month we're focusing on Stacy Mosby, who just moved here in March to Atlanta. And we hope that you enjoy what she has to share with us.
Hey guys, it's Stacy, and it is an honor to be asked to share a little bit about my story, about how I got involved in Young Life and what it looks like to really pursue every kid in ministry. And so I actually got involved with Young Life as an adult. I didn't know anything about it until I moved to New York City as a 21-year-old who was pursuing her acting dreams, but we plan and God laughs. And the church I was involved in was doing a block party for these housing projects in Chelsea. And Chelsea is known for being the second wealthiest neighborhood in Manhattan. It's known for attractions like the High Line and Chelsea Market, and even now Hudson Yards. But in the middle of Chelsea, right across the street from Chelsea Market, and even the Google building, is Fulton Housing Projects. And there are a couple of other housing projects that are in the same area. And so my church did a block party, and there was a Young Life booth there. And the area director, Chris Mills, was sitting there, and I was like, hey, I should probably volunteer some of my time since I haven't been getting much acting work. How can I get involved? And he's like, oh, we're kind of done for the semester. We're about to go to camp, so maybe we'll reconnect with you in the fall. And I was like, nah, I want to be involved. And so I realized just by who was there that all of the kids that they were serving were Black and brown students, but there were no Black and brown leaders. And I just was like, nah, I need to be involved here. I need to be with these kids. I grew up in the foster care system. And so just having people in my life who loved Jesus so much, who supported me and looked like me, was really important. And so I wanted to be that for my students. And I went on a camp trip after doing a couple of Right Now media posts, and it was the most overwhelmingly exhausting week of my life, but in the best way possible, because I just really had to depend on God. I didn't know what was happening. And I thought, because I had like a background that was tumultuous, like a hard adolescence, I was like, I want to be able to connect with these kids. And they were not about it. They were like, you think you went through something, you didn't go through anything. And so I came in thinking that I had an upper hand, but I really didn't. And I think depending on the Lord to guide me was the biggest thing that helped me really connect with these students and not just feel like I already had a pass to connect with them because I'm Black. And so I just want to encourage people to know that, like, as long as you're consistent and you're depending on the Lord, because at camp, I was at those Lake Champion picnic tables every day at 6 a.m. because it was crazy. But I think being able to depend on the Lord and hear how He's leading me to reach every kid and connect with them was such a big deal. And that is what I'm most proud of in ministry in New York City. Like here in Atlanta, it's been new. It's been a couple of months. It's been completely different because of COVID. But I think what's so wonderful is that as a team, we've been able to come together and really not work in silos, but really connect with different leaders about different kids that may not even be in our area. But hey, how can I connect with your student? And how can I build rapport with them even though you're their leader? And so I know that it was really cool that even when I left New York City, I was able to leave a couple of my Young Life guys with the Upper West Side Area Director, Jay Payne, and know that he was going to be able to take them under his wing. And so I think collaboration is such an important step when trying to figure out how ministry is going to work. I've seen that a lot here in Atlanta because churches are a lot more open or like aware of Young Life. In the city, maybe a couple of churches knew of Young Life, but overall people didn't know about Young Life in New York. But I really have seen how collaborating with churches, like right now for Young Life Classroom, we are in the atrium of Ponce Presbyterian, and they have been so gracious to us. Sometimes, our kids get a little comfortable. They like to play, mess around, and Ponce has been incredible, and really wanting to pioneer what racial reconciliation looks like. And so because they are pioneering that, I think it's given them a heart to really put their money where their mouth is and really show, hey, we have this space for all these students to come. And some of them are pastors' kids from another church, and some of them live downtown in Shamrock Gardens, which is a rougher part of town. And so to see them come together is really great. And so I would also encourage people to think about what it looks like to bring kids that with other kids. I know that when I was a head leader at Lake Champion, we had first session, and all of these leaders came, and one Black male was there. One Black male, and he was a regional director. And we had trips of 100 kids, and that's great. But and that's good. That's good, actually. It's just good. But it's not great Young Life. And so what does it look like for us to pursue the furthest out kid? And even in New York City, I was with my kids from the projects, but after a couple of years, my heart started to really have a burden for those kids who may have lived in a penthouse right across the street, who went to avenues, who were blonde hair and blue eyed and didn't know anything about Jesus. So really saying, hey, am I actually reaching the furthest out kid? What does it look like to reach the furthest out kid? Even in this COVID situation, there may be kids who are overlooked and not seen who are the furthest out kid right now. And so I'm encouraging you to figure out who that is and how you can get connected with them, how you can support churches and how they're trying to reach out to their middle and high school students. There's just so many things. This video is already 7 minutes long, but feel free to reach out to me and ask me any questions. I also am new to Young Life, in this traditional format, so I'm really excited to hear from you guys and see what has worked and be able to nuance it to fit every kid in my area. So thanks so much.